This is Next Century Studios.
Hi, this is Dan Ayuto with the Leading Edge Business Show, and we're here today with Amber Osborne from headoflettucemedia.com. Hi, Amber. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. And we're going to be talking about social media today and how you became known as the destroyer of social media boredom. So please, tell us more.
Well, Miss Destructo kind of came from the swamps of Florida, and it evolved into a whole social media online personality, just sandstorm kind of just, it took over everything. It all started off, I was unemployed and I started blogging, and then I really got into social media and started networking through Twitter to build up my, not only to find a job, but to build up my own kind of personal circle and personal brand as far as networking went.
Okay, so that's where it all started. Mm-hmm. That's where it started. So where's it taken you from there? I mean, now you're working with Head of Lettuce, and that is an entity of its own. I've seen it quite a bit here. So
yes.
Where's that going?
Well, I'm actually the blue cheese at Head of Lettuce Media.
That's great.
And I focus personally on online brand development. And my partner, Anthony Francis, does most of the analytics monitoring. He's more the business guy. Okay. I would say we're pretty much the Penn and Teller of social media. Mm-hmm. He's the talkative one. I'm the quiet one in person. But online, it's different. But where Head of Lettuce is going right now, we're everywhere. I mean, we are everywhere. We're doing some really cool clients right now, just focusing on some really cool projects, and really kind of taking Tampa by storm.
I've seen you on Bay News 9 yesterday, Channel 13. You've got interviews in the Business Journal, so you're definitely getting the word out.
Yeah,
and I can see you a lot on Facebook. I get a kick out of what you're doing there. You definitely destroy the boredom there. That's always entertaining, and you have a great conversation. You're always letting us know where the next event is going on, giving us snapshots from different venues in the area. So yeah, I kind of look to you like, hey, what's the hottest, happiest place to be? Well, there they are.
Yeah, some people have described me as kind of a cool hunter. Like, they'll go on my Twitter or my Facebook to kind of see what's cool and what's going on in the area.
Okay, so now, what would you say are the do's and don'ts of the brand strategies, and people try to use this for their business?
Well, one thing to do is to have a personality. Have fun with your online presence, either if you're a business or a brand or just a person. Make sure that you have connections with your audience that are very authentic. A don't would be push out a lot of messages about yourself, about your product, that kind of, we call it Twitter vomit.
Yes.
Just put out a bunch of messages at once. I mean, that's a major don't. Another thing is to make sure you watch yourself on Twitter. You know, don't say anything you wouldn't say in an audience or a big room or in front of your mom or your dad or you know, your best friend. Just make sure you watch yourself on Twitter and kind of try to not censor yourself, but just make sure, especially if you work for a company, don't be putting out things on there that could ruin your company's reputation.
Yeah, you can't take it back once it gets out into the web.
Exactly.
It's really, really hard to defend.
Yes.
You could offend.
We have a whole saying, you know, what happens in Vegas goes on Twitter.
Okay, so we get it. You know, just don't say anything you wouldn't want your mom to hear.
Right.
Pretty much bottom line. How about maintaining those close virtual relationships in the virtual world? Because a lot of some of my webmasters I've known for 10 years, and I've never met them, but they're like brothers to me. Mm-hmm. And you trust them with your life, with your website, with your back end stuff, and you never met them. How do you maintain those close relationships in a virtual world?
I bribe people.
How? Oh yeah, money always works, but sometimes they defect, you know.
No, it's a lot of making sure that you make that personal connection, you know. Go and ask them how their day was, you know, if they post a picture of their dog, just be, you know, have an actual conversation with people. Keep up on people, treat them like they're your family. I always tell brands or companies to treat people like they're VIPs, you know, make them feel special. Make them get exclusive content that they're not going to find other places. Because having that backstage, behind the scenes kind of look either at a company or a person, people want to see that. I mean, that's why TMZ and all these celebrity shows are so popular, because people want to see behind the scenes and what goes on in people's lives.
Real, not staged. It's the actual nuts and bolts of how it's done. Yeah, it's not just a performance. It's what we do and how we do it, and this is how you can do it too. So I totally get that. The difference between personal and corporate branded sites?
There is a very fine line, actually, between personal and corporate sites. Of course, you want, as a corporation or as a business, you want to keep a lot of your personal business out of your corporation. But at the same time, you want to make sure that you grow that company culture and grow that personality that your company has. So there's a very fine line between personal and corporate branding. You know, personally with Miss Destructo, you know, I'm a little bit of a hellraiser. You know, our company is fun, and people like, you know, working with us. Our clients enjoy us. They have fun. But of course, my partner and I, we're not going to put on our head of lettuce page or something's personal, like something happens in the family or some. We try to keep the personal out of our brands.
You're right. So you got two different roads to travel. One's corporate, one's personal. Keep them separate.
Keep them separate. But if you need to, make sure that you do still be human.
So it's this fine balance. You have to always think before you hit send.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. So now there's different places online. So there's 4 that you were kind of looking at as Gowalla, Facebook places. Tell us about those major local places that people could probably do very well with.
Well, the thing is about location-based services like Gowalla and Foursquare is that they're a great enhancement to your business's current social media plan or current marketing plan. We know restaurants that give amazing specials when you check in at their restaurant. It's really just getting to be the kind of the next big thing in social media.
So Foursquare, I know Foursquare, I'm just getting schooled up on that myself, and I'm trying to maintain, but it's always trying to stay ahead of the game and what's next. So what's next?
What's next? Foursquare check-ins on the moon, definitely.
Foursquare check-ins
Foursquare check-ins on the moon. I'm just waiting for it. I'm just waiting for it to happen. But really the next big thing is not only location-based, but taking it into different levels of augmented reality, where you can go to a store and try on clothes in a TV screen. And the possibilities are endless right now with social media. So many companies, every single business out there is trying to find out about this new thing called social media. And everyone's trying to build the next new thing and build the next new platform. What's going to be the next new Twitter? What's going to be the next new Facebook? But I really think what is going to make things happen is the people involved and what they do with those platforms they're currently using.
Right. So use the technologies that's in place that fits your model and whatever generates those results. I mean, you can tell people based on your experience with different types of businesses, this is what we found to work with you, and that's where your experience comes in and helping people, because sometimes it's a scattershot thing. No one gets on a plan. There's no rhyme or reason, and they're making these mistakes. They're saying the wrong stuff. I mean, they need experts to help them at least get a plan in place and continually pushed out on a regular basis.
Right, and as what I feel is that you don't need a social media expert or anybody around for too long. You can learn it yourself as a company. You just need that person or that company to come in and hold your hand for a little bit and kind of tell you the do's and don'ts and coach you through some of the scary parts of social media. The most asked question that we get, well, isn't it going to take a lot of time? We're like, no, not really. Let us show you how you can use the tools needed so that you can automate processes. You can do some really neat things with social media in a small amount of time for your company or business.
All right. Tampa Bay's online marketing scene, what's your opinion of it? In a quick, brief snapshot.
It's booming. It's growing. I'm out there at events all the time, networking events, business events, and I am just seeing more and more new people, new fresh faces come in from other places like New York City, San Francisco, that are really kind of surprised that we have such a community and kind of a family here among not only the tech community, but the social media community. And another thing that's very interesting is also politicians and the government here is really getting into social media as well. And that's amazing, and they have tons of support for it.
Okay, so let's say somebody wanted to get started today. They're going to come and see Miss Destructo, aka the social media destroyer of boredom, at headoflettuce.com. So we definitely want to send them your way so they can get to know what you do and how to really put their self out there. So in that case, Miss Destructo,
Yes,
it was a
thank you.
pleasure to have you with us, and I look forward to seeing you more in town, all around town. Thank you.
Thank you.